Howdy, my name is Seth Barbary, one of the virtual workshop chairs for TAMUmake. This video serves as an intro to Raspberry Pi to help you get acquainted with this tiny but powerful computer. So you might be asking, how is this credit card board a computer, and how is it different from like your normal laptop or desktop? Well, this board has all the same components that a normal computer has. On the screen is actually the Raspberry Pi 4. This is actually the newest revision, just came out a few months ago from the Raspberry Pi Foundation over in the United Kingdom. So again, it does have parts like a computer, albeit they might be a little bit different. So this is the processor. It's actually an ARM Cortex A72 quad core. But as you might have just noticed, I said ARM, not Intel or AMD. ARM is another processor company. They make more or less a different style of processor for low power devices. Your smartphone, like your iPhones, Samsungs, any popular smartphone actually has one of these processors typically. And then you have your normal USB ports. You got USB 3, and USB 2. That's where you can plug in your mouse, keyboard, just like normal. And then we have micro HDMI. You can actually use these and either expand it out to an HDMI or just normal HDMI to your computer, or actually plug in your monitor, just like a normal computer. And all this board really requires to boot, like a computer, is an OS. Raspberry Pi relies on Linux typically, so we'll actually be formatting OS on an SD card, because it'll boot from an SD card. We'll do that in this video, and then we'll also connect it with. I have Raspberry Pi 3 versus the Raspberry Pi 4 that's shown here. So whenever I show overhead, it'll look a little bit different, but it'll be roughly the same. Installation is the same. You're just picking I'll be picking a different version, but to get started, more or less, to get it ready, we'll go to downloads and we'll click Noobs. This will actually new out of the box software, very easy installation. And then here we will actually download the zip. I usually download the zip file. Got it saved. Well, that save, I'm using Ethernet, so that way I'll download the full 2.3 gigs. But Noobs is different in the sense that you can it'll install more. It has more than one OS on it, so you can actually boot different ones. It's very out of the box oriented for anyone new to Raspberry Pi, hence the Noobs name. I'll cut to the end whenever this actually finishes, but we'll format this for this should actually work for no matter what style of board. Right, so we got everything downloaded. We've got the zip file here. I'm on Linux, so I'm actually going to be running the zip in the command line. So I'm going to let that start. So as it's unzipping, these are all the files. With Noobs, we'll just copy all these files over to the SD card of the Raspberry Pi. And the way it's configured is you'll just run these files immediately and be perfect. As you can see, it's all good here. So I'm just going to select it all. Copy. Now if I have to delete the zip file again, I can select it all, but typically it's recommended to have 8 gig to 16 gig, starting SD card. It's really nice to have. But either or will be fine for at least the beginning Raspberry Pi installation. Just gonna keep going for a bit. Not too long a wait. It just has to compress all these files and get it all in there. I guess while it's going, I'm going to actually talk about the sense of what projects you can do with Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pis are typically used for low power computers. Usually whenever you need some form of computer running in a background of some project, it's useful. It'd be like a server where you need some computer running. It's very quick for that. I mean, with $35, you instantly have a computer that runs. You maybe a portable computer. You can use that too. Raspberry Pi is very versatile. From what you've seen other people do. There's lots of tutorials too on Raspberry Pi's website, where you can actually learn Python, They built some robots, as you can tell, websites. Definitely people use Raspberry Pis to host their website, since it can just run a server, connect to the internet. Very simple. That's actually one of the things I was going to mention later, is actually do a Raspberry Pi server. So you can technically, if you wanted to, make your website out of it. Make sure it got everything installed. It still is taking a while. Right, so I unzipped the file already, so if you haven't, I'd recommend just unzip the file, get that done, and then I head over here. I actually just took all the files and copied them over here to the SD card. Try not to select the noob zip file, because that will, one, you don't need it. That's actually the rest of the files all in that one file. So try to avoid it, and show everything. The rest of it should be all on the SD card. After that, you can just eject it, and then you'll just plug into the Raspberry Pi, give it some power, and it'll be good to go. I'll actually have an overhead video in the next one that actually shows booting the Raspberry Pi and just running it.